Roger. Cathay Pacific CPA 364 on runway 25 left, 1500 feet, 1740 knots.
Cathay Pacific CPA 364 taxiing to Shanghai at 14:30.
Cathay Pacific CPA 16207 Center, taxi to the runway 07.
CPA 16207 Center, ready for takeoff. Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK249, is his pilot flight line requesting clearance for approach from Shanghai to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK249. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. You are cleared to proceed on runway 25 right with a height of 110 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 990, takeoff 25 left.
CPA 990, readback 25 left.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK249, Tower, we are airborne from Shanghai to Hong Kong with QNH 996. We have cleared the approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tower VHHHK for CRK249 on runway 25 right.
EVA 871, you are on runway 25 Center, taxi.
EVA Air EVA 871M, runway 25 Center, 0 feet altitude, 11 knots speed.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK249, you are on runway 25 right.
Read back, I'm reading inbound to Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK249.
EVA Air 871 on 25 Center, taxi.
Readback EVA Air 871 runway 25.
EVA Air 871M, runway 25 Center.
EVA Air taxiing to the east, 300 feet.
European Air Transport BCS 516, you're on runway 25 right.
This is European Air Transport BCS 516, this is Tower. You are on runway 25 right.
China Eastern 2008, we have cleared for taxiing down the first runway.
This is Hong Kong, Tower 11. China Eastern Airlines 2008, you are on approach to runway 11.
China Eastern Airlines CES 2008, we are approaching from Macau on a heading 300 degrees.
China Eastern Airlines CES 2008, approach to runway 11.
European Air Transport BCS 516R. Pilot, please do not enter the runway area until I give you a clearance.
Tower European Air Transport BCS 516, runway 25 right.
China Eastern Airlines CES 2008, and pilot, this is the pilot line. I am landing from Macau to Shanghai at an altitude of 13,000 feet with a speed of 338 knots and flying for 3 nautical miles.
This is Tower M China Eastern Airlines CES 2008, you are on runway 11.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK018, we are cruising at 1,475 feet, 15 knots.
Roger, CRK018 on runway 25 right.
China Eastern Airlines CES 734, take run 25 left.
Readback China Eastern Airlines CES 734 AM, altitude 1,000 feet.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 018, pilot line, request.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 018, runway 25 right.
This is Ever 833 to Macau, this pilot line.
Ever 33, runway 29, altitude is 725 feet.
Ever Air Ever 833, we are flying a speed of 38 knots.
Ever 833, this is the tower, you are on runway 25 right. We have cleared Ever 833 for approach to Kaohsiung.
Pilot acknowledged, Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 018. I am on final approach for runway 25 at 2010.
Tower flight CRK 018, you are airborne from Sydney to Hong Kong. Clearance is 25 right with a heading of 013 and an altitude of 2,000 feet.
China Eastern Airlines CES 505M, runway 25 right, altitude 1,325 feet.
China Eastern Airlines CES 505, you are approaching runway 25 right.
This is Ever 833, I am airborne from Kaohsiung to Macau.
Ever Air, you are clear for landing on runway 25 right.
China Eastern Airlines 505 requesting to approach from Shanghai to Hong Kong with QNH 996.
This is VHHHK controller, China Eastern Airlines 505 on 25 right at 975 feet and 148 knots.
Air Macau AMU 616M, we are airborne from Macau to Taiwan. Our altitude is 11,775 feet.
This is Hong Kong Tower, this AMU 616 on runway 11.
China Airlines CAL 919, Tower, I am airborne from Taipei to Hong Kong.
This is VHHH, China Airlines CAL 919 on runway 25 right.
Clearance granted to AMU 616 on runway 11.
Air Macau AMU 616, this is Hong Kong Tower. Please identify yourself.
China Eastern Airlines CES 505 Tower, we are airborne from Shanghai to Hong Kong with QNH 996. Wind south at 10 knots.
This is VHHHK, China Eastern Airlines CS 505 on runway 25 right and altitude 225 feet.
China Airlines CAL 919, we're approaching from Taiwan to Hong Kong.
China Airlines CAL 919 25 right.
Pilot in command of Air Macau AMU 616 reports request for landing at altitude 14,700 feet and speed 376 knots.
This is VHHH Hong Kong to Air Macau AMU 616 landing on runway 07 right.
GP885, I'm airborne from Seattle to Hong Kong.
Cathay Pacific, CPA 885, you are approaching runway 25 right.
Vietjet Air VJC 5531 and takeoff run 1.
VJC 5531, 07 left, 10,050 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 885. We're airborne and approach from Seattle to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 885, requesting runway 25 right.
VJC 5531 landing from Macau to Macau.
Landing VJC 5531 on 07 left.
Cathay Pacific CPA 654, this pilot line request approach from Bangkok to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 654, 25 right, 1,050 feet.
We are flying with QNH 996 67 meters wind, south 10 knots. We have cleared the VHHH Hong Kong air traffic controller line. Vietjet Airways 5531 runway 25 left, altitude 1157, feet, speed 304, distance 2 nautical miles from Macau to Macau.
This is the VHHH Hong Kong air traffic controller line. Pilot
European Air Transport BCS 516, you are on runway 25 right.
Landed European Air Transport BCS 516.
Cathay Pacific CPA 654, pilot to tower. We are airborne from Bangkok on runway 25.
Cathay Pacific CPA 654, 25 right, altitude 1,050 feet.
Landed RCR Hay 018, runway 25 right.
Read that, landed, CRK 018, runway 25 right.
PE961, we have cleared you for approach to the Hong Kong airport.
Tower CTA 961, runway 25 right.
China Eastern Airlines CES 505, you are on runway 25 right, your altitude is 0 feet and speed is 23 knots.
Reback China Eastern Airlines CES 505, I am on runway 25 right, my altitude is 0 feet and speed is 23 knots.
CAL 919, you are on runway 25 right over the Sea of Taipo.
Reback CAL 919 runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 961, pilot line. We are flying to Hong Kong on runway 25 with a speed of 15.5.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 961R, this is Tower 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 885, runway 25 right.
CPA 885, 07 right.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 65425 right, 0 feet.
Reback, this is Cathay Pacific CPA 654. Runway 25 right, altitude 0.
Air China CCA 110, runway 25 left.
Reback, takeoff Air China CCA 110.
Cathay Pacific CPA 52707 right, taxi.
Tower Cathay Pacific CPA 527 VHHH.
Cathay Pacific CPA 96125 right 0 feet 37 knots 4 nautical miles on ground from Hangzhou to Hong Kong 9960 QNH South 10.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 961 runway 25 altitude 0 feet speed 30, 7 knots distance, 4 nautical miles on ground from Hangzhou to Hong Kong 9960 QNH wind south 10.
Cathay Pacific CPA 527, you are on 07 center runway in a clear vacuum of air traffic over the sea from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Cathay Pacific CPA 527, we are clear for takeoff at 3,000 feet with wind heading south 1 knot.
Cathay Pacific CPA 527, taxiing 07 center on the runway from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 527, taxiing 07 center on the runway from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Cebu Pacific CAB 112, pilot in command, altitude 1500 feet.
Cebu Pacific CAB 112, runway 25 right.
This is European Air Transport BCS 516 on 07 center, taxiing for runway 07.
European Air Transport BCS 516 reads taxiing to runway 07.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 702 take off runway 25 left.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 702 readback.
Cebu Pacific CAB 112, pilot line, approach request.
This is Cebu Pacific CAB 112, this is tower line.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 018, tower call sign, taxiing to runway 25, center line.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 018, pilot, readback, tower, taxiing to runway 25, M, center line. Cathay Pacific CPA 867, requesting landing clearance on approach to Hong Kong with QNH 0996.
Approaching. CTA 867 runway 25 right 992 feet.
Cebu Pacific CAB 112, pilot, tower, altitude 2000 feet.
Cebu Pacific CAB 112 runway 25 right.
This is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. This is 534 from 1 to 25 left runway 07 right gate on ground altitude 6 feet speed 30 knots distance 1 nautical mile.
534, we are in position at 6 feet above the surface running out of runways 10 and 26.
Tower CPA 867, I am approaching.
CPA 867, runway 25 right.
Cebu Pacific CEB 112 runway 25 right 0 feet up to me.
25 Cebu Pacific, I've arrived on the runways.
Aerologic Reebok 519025 left 4,700 feet above the surface.
Aerologic BOX 519, tower, takeoff from runway 25 left 1475 feet elevated 270 knots distance 4 nautical miles above ground.
HPG 321, we are airborne at 1600 feet altitude and flying 33 knots.
This is Hong Kong Controller 321. This is HKG 321 on runway 25 right.
I am European Air Transport BCS 516 taxiing to 07 right.
European Air Transport BCS 516, reading back, 2,000 feet altitude, 350 knot speed.
Cathay Pacific CPA 430 pilot, you are on final approach for runway 25 left at an altitude of 225 feet.
Tower, I am taking off with CPA 430 at 163 knots.
Pilot, I'm receiving the clearance from Hong Kong Tower on 321, runway 25 right cosine. We will maintain 950 feet altitude and 6,030 knots.
Tower, this is Hong Kong Tower M321 cosine. We have received your approach report for runway 25 right. You are cleared to proceed with an altitude of 950 feet and a speed of 630 knots.
Cathay Pacific CPA 879, we are airborne flying from San Francisco.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 879 on runway 25 right, are cleared for approach to the airport.
Air Macau AMU 161, roger that, taxi 29.
You are clear to land. AMU 161.
Cathay Pacific CPA 867, runway 25 right from 0 through 300 feet and 1,000 cruise altitude.
Cathay Pacific CPA 867. 3 nautical miles off Vancouver to Hong Kong on a QNH of 9.96 at wind south 10 knots.
Cathay Pacific CPA 879, clear way to Hong Kong on runway 25 from San Francisco.
We are CPA 879, runway 25 right, maintaining 80 feet.
Air Macau AMU 161, Tower, this is Macau pilot line approaching on runways 25 right.
This is Hong Kong Tower to you. AMU 161 approach clear for runway 25 right.
Air Macau AMU 226, pilot, we have been airborne for 20 seconds from Macau to Hangzhou at 11,400 feet on a vector of south.
Air Macau AMU 226, Tower. This is Hong Kong Tower 1027 right. You are cleared to proceed on final approach.
Cathay Pacific CPA 957, Tower, I am airborne from Zhengzhou to Hong Kong on runway 25 at QNH 996.
Cathay Pacific CPA 957, 25 right, altitude 1,027.5 feet and speed 14.3 knots.
Pilot in command of Air Macau AMU 226, you are clear for approach to runway 07 right.
Air Macau AMU 226, ladies and gentlemen, this is Hong Kong Tower Alpha 126 on the tower frequency.
Cathay Pacific CPA 957, this way to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 957 on runway 25 right, 80 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, Tower, we are airborne from Brisbane to Hong Kong.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, runway 25 right.
Air Macau to AMU 226, pilot 1726 confirming outbound route Hangzhou via Macau at an altitude of 15,000 feet with current airspeed of 31.4 knots.
Air Macau AMU 226 Tower Unit, this is Tower 1426 reporting inbound from the south for runway 10 on a heading of 300 degrees. You are clear to land and I will provide final approach.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, pilot M. I'm airborne from Brisbane and heading to Hong Kong.
Tower, Cathay Pacific CPA 150 on runway 25 right to Hong Kong.
Tower, Starlux SJX205, altitude 1,687 feet.
Starlux Airlines, SJX205, Starlux, we are on your final approach to runway 29.
EM, pilot Starlux, airline SJX205, approach runway 25 right at 87 feet.
Starlux, M. Starlux Airlines SJX205, you are cleared for approach to runway 25 right.
Emirates UAE 384, pilot, we have reached the runway 25 right with a climb of 1500 feet and an airspeed of 1500 knots.
Tower, this is Hong Kong SID. Approach, Emirates 384.
Pilot line, request Stylule Airline SJX205 to Mecca.
Starlux Airlines SJX205 M Starlux runway 25 right.
Emirates UAE 384, approach please with 07 right and 1025 feet and flying 147 knots.
Tower, call your own, R384 Emirates, we are on runway 25 right.
Tower HBG 321 is landing on runway 25 right.
Pilot station, I'm HBG 321 on runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 879 runway 25 right.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 879, altitude 0 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 421, we are airborne from Taipei to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 421 requesting approach on runway 25 right.
Air Macau AMU 674, we are approaching from Macau and flying to RCMQ at 209 feet altitude. We maintain 306 knots speed in a south wing 10 knot.
This is Hong Kong Tower. Please acknowledge this approach clearance for air traffic controller AMU 674 on runway 11 to the right.
Tower Emirates UAE 384, taxiing runway 25 right.
Emirates UAE 384 R runway 25 right, 0 feet. 41 knots on the ground from Bangkok to Hong Kong.
Air Macau AMU 674 EM, pilot, you are now in position at 4 nautical miles out above 14,900 feet, speed 314 knots, clear for RCM2.
Air Macau AMU 674 Tower, this is Hong Kong Tower 1 on runway 11. You are approaching from the south with a heading of 09 degrees and an altitude.
Cathay Pacific CPA 421, power, I'm 3750 feet and flying at 15.9 knots from Taipei to Hong Kong.
Pilot, this is Cathay Pacific CPA 421 on the runway 25 right.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 849, this is pilot line request to tower.
We are 25 right, HKE 849.
Air Macau AMU 674 AM, pilot line request. I have arrived at the airport from Macau and will land to RCNQ1 Towers clearance.
This is Hong Kong Tower. This is controller line 114674 runway 11 landing for Air Macau AMU 674.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 849, approach control. We are airborne from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 849, 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, runway 25 right, altitude 0 feet.
CPA 150, up, runways 25 right, altitude 0.
Cathay Pacific CPA 549, VHHH, please maintain altitude 1,750 feet.
This is VHHH to Cathay Pacific 549, runway 25 right.
Emirates UAE 384, you are on runway 25 right.
With Emirates UAE 384 on run 25.
Landing HKE 849, runway 25 right, altitude 0 feet, speed 94 knots, distance 3 nautical miles, on ground from Tokyo to Hong Kong, QNH 960, wind south 10.
Read back landing HKE 849, runway 25 right, altitude 0 feet, speed 94 knots, distance 3 nautical miles, on ground from Tokyo to Hong Kong, QNH 960, wind south 10.
Cathay Pacific CPA 549, pilot in command, request taxi to runway.
Cathay Pacific CPA 549, runway 25 right.
Reback CPA 3037, runway 25 left, altitude 850 feet, speed 176 knots, distance 3 nautical miles, airborne from Seoul to Tokyo.
Cathay Pacific CPA 3037, UNH 9099.6, wind south at 10 knots, takeoff.
Air China CCA 115, Tower, we are airborne from Beijing to Hong Kong on QNH 996. Please hold our approach.
Air China CCA 151, M5, runway 25 right, altitude 1575 feet.
Cebu Pacific CEB 112, runway 25 center.
Cebu Pacific CEB 112, R, read back taxi.
Cathay Pacific CPA 549, runway 25 right, 0 feet on run.
Tower Cathay Pacific CPA 549. I am taxiing to the gate. Pilot, this is Air China CCA 115 requesting takeoff on runway 25.
Tower CCA 115. Runway 25 right.
Pilot in command China Southern Airlines CSN 3038M, I am on final approach.
China Southern Airlines CSN 3038, you are approaching runway 25 left.
Cathay Pacific CPA 539, Tower, we are airborne from Nagoya to Hong Kong at QNH 996 and heading south.
Squawk 139, CPA 539, runway 25 right, altitude 8725 feet.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 867. We are on runway 25 center, taxiing from 01 to 49.
Readback. This is Cathay Pacific CPA 867. I am on runway 253 and moving at speed 6.
Tower, this is Xiamen Airlines 8720.
Xiamen Airlines, we are approach control for you.
Cathay Pacific CPA 539, a Patriot 106 Tower.
This is Cathay Pacific 539 on runway 25 right, altitude 97 feet.
Xiamen Airlines CXA 8720, this is your pilot line.
This is Xiamen Airlines CXA 8720R. I am on the 11 runway. We are climbing to 12,000 feet, and we have cleared you for approach.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 036 Tower. I'm tracking the flight from Melbourne towards Hong Kong.
Pilot, you are on final approach to runway 25 right for Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 036.
Xiamen Airlines, we are landing now, altitude to 15,000 feet.
Stand by for Xiamen Airlines CXA 8720 on runway 11.
Roger that. Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 036 requesting takeoff clearance.
This is the VHHH line, controller CRK 036 to you on runway 25 right.
Air China CCA 11507 left, altitude 0 feet, speed 15 knots.
Air China CCA 115 are cleared for landing on runway 07.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805 pilot and commander flight number 1479. We approach the Hong Kong airport.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 805. You are on runway 25 right.
CPA 539 and cleared to land on runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 539, we're landing on runway 25.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805 pilot, we are inbound from Toronto to Hong Kong.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805 Tower, this is VHHH HKG 105 on runway 25 right.
This is VHHH HKC, this is CRK 036 and you are cleared to land on runway 25 right.
CRK 036, we have landed and the aircraft is now stationary.
Bangkok Airways BKP 806, this is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line.
Bangkok Airways BKP 806, we are on ground at 07 right, 3000 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805, this is your pilot line. You are approaching for a landing.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 805 on runway 25 right. 3 feet 155 knots. We're airborne from Toronto to Hong Kong.
Air Niugini ANG-8, requesting RNP 25R approach, runway 25 right.
Air Niugini ANG-8, cleared RNP 25R approach, runway 25 right, QNH 90.
Bangkok Airways BKP 806, takeoff 25 left.
Readback Bangkok Airways BKP 806, taking off runway 25.
Pilot in command, M. I'm Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672 at 11,000 feet.
This is Hong Kong Tower, clear for Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672 on 07 left.
Approach, this is Air Niugini 8, runway 25 right, R, heading 0700 feet.
This is Tower for Air Niugini 8, 25 right to Hong Kong.
Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672, our pilot of your aircraft, is reporting that you are airborne from Macau to Fuzhou at an altitude of 13,067 feet with a speed of 318 knots.
This is the Hong Kong Tower, requesting approach clearance for Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672 on runway 11.
Approach Juneo Airlines DKH 129M, altitude 1475 feet.
Juneo Airlines DKH 129, runway 25 right.
Juneo Airlines DKH 1291, I am flying from Shanghai to Hong Kong with a speed of 45 knots and an altitude of 1,000 feet.
This is Juneo Airlines DKH 1291R. You are on the runway 25 right.
Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672, we have arrived from Macau and are heading to Fuzhou.
This is Xiamen Airlines CXA 8672, we are on runway 07 left.
Confirmed CAL 935, altitude 1,090 feet and speed 4.6 knots.
CAL 935, I see you are airborne from Kaohsiung to Hong Kong on runway 25 right.
VHHH Vietnam Airlines HVN 595, takeoff position 25 left, runway 15.
Readback VHHH, Vietnam Airlines HVN 595, taxiing to runway 26.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805, landing on 07 left at 3,000 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 805R, I am on final approach from Toronto to Hong Kong.
China Airlines CAL 935, M, pilot to tower, 1,800 feet.
China Airlines CAL 935, right runway 25.
Tiger Airways pilot line, I am now on final approach and ready to go.
This is Tiger Airways Tower. This tower to Tiger 905, approach 11 runway clear for takeoff.
Vietjet Air VJC 876, tower, we have cleared for final approach.
Vietjet Air VJC 876, 25.
Pilot Tiger Airways TGW905. You are at 13,950 feet over Macau heading to Singapore. QNH 99.6 wind south 1 knot.
Tiger Airways TGW905 Tower.
Vietjet Air VJC 876. OA, we're ready for takeoff.
This is VHHH. This is Tower. You are Vietjet 876 on runway 25 right from Ho Chi Minh to Hong Kong with an altitude of 1,200 feet and a speed of 414 knots.
China Airlines CAL 93525 right 070 feet 68 knots 30 nautical miles on ground from KSN to Hong Kong QNH 99.6 wind south 10.
CAL 935 runway 25 altitude 0 feet speed 68 knots distance 30 nautical miles on ground from KSN to Hong Kong QNH 99.6 wind south 10. Pilot, this is Flight CP 2074 approaching on runway 25 right, 1,600 feet.
This is Tower, Cathay Pacific CPA 2074, runway 25 right.
Korean Air KL 2006 runway 25 left.
Pilot in command readback Korean Air KA L2006.
Cathay Pacific CPA 2074, this pilot line.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 2074 on runway 25 right, within 11 feet and 15 degrees true north.
Squawk 876 VJC 876 runway 25 right Hong Kong.
Readback Squawk 876. I am VJC 876 on landing.
VJC 876 runway 25 right at altitude 0 feet.
Readback VJC 876. Runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 589, pilot in command. We are airborne from RJFF to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific 589, runway 25 right.
Zhejiang Airlines CDC 8054 takeoff 27 left.
Readback Zhejiang Airlines CDC 8054 runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 2074 we are landing on runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 2074, taxiing to the end of runway 25.
Cathay Pacific CPA 589, pilot line, approaching flight from RJFF to Hong Kong.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 589. This is Tower on runway 25 right.
Readback VJC 876 runway 25 right.
Vietjet Air VJC 876. I am ready for takeoff on runway 25.
Air China CCA 764 takeoff runway 25 left.
Readback Air China CCA 764M taking off runway 25 left.
Qatar Airways QTR 8402, Tower. I am approaching the airport.
Qatar Airways, you are on final approach to runway 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 589 runway 25 right.
Runway 25 right, Cathay Pacific CPA 589.
Tower, takeoff on runway 25 left for flight CRK 282 from Hong Kong to Taipei.
Flight CRK 282 taking off runways 25 left from Hong Kong to Taipei at 9,096 feet, 182 knots.
Qatar Airways QTR 8402 Tower, we are on final approach to runway 25 right.
Qatar Airways, this is the tower. Please hold while I check your position.
Air Macau AMU 992, Hong Kong Tower 952. I've received your clearance and am airborne southbound for Bangkok at 14,650 feet.
Air Macau AMU 992. Pilot, this is Hong Kong Tower 9521707 left. Runway approach altitude 1465 feet, speed 279 knots, distance 3 nautical miles, airspeed clear.
Pilot in command, this is Air Macau AMU 992 requesting clearance for landing approach.
Air Macau AMU 992. This is Tower, Hong Kong to you on the tower line of 1306492.
Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569, pilot says approach altitude 1060 feet, speed 116 knots.
This is Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line, call sign HKC 4569 on runway 25 right.
Air Macau AMU 992, or pilot on standby, this is Macau Air Flight AMU 192 asking for clearance to land at the requested runway condition and speed of 323 knots while maintaining our current position in 5 nautical miles, distance airborne south wind 10 knots.
Air Macau AMU 992, this is Hong Kong Tower Air Traffic Controller to pilot 192 landing runway 07 left.
Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569, we are approaching from Taipei with QNH 996 and wind south at 10 knots.
Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569, this is Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. You are clear to taxi 25 right on runway 27.
Pilot, on the frequency of Cathay Pacific CPA 421, you are cleared to taxi 07 right.
Roger that, Cathay Pacific CPA 421, I'm taxiing 07 right.
Tower, IMCRK 609 on approach from Tokyo.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609, Gongcam, taxiing to runway 25 right, altitude 1800 feet.
Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569, pilot request approach taxiing runway 25 right.
This is Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line, and this is 4569.
Pilot in command of Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609 reporting ready for takeoff from Tokyo heading to Hong Kong at an altitude of 10,000 feet, 50 knots, and a speed of 50 knots.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tower 1052 on the VHHH line. We are cleared for approach to runway 25 right.
Qatar Airways PLAYBACK Qatar Airways 18402 runway 25 right, altitude 0 feet.
Qatar Airways QTR 8402, Tower, please state your intentions and current position.
Cathay Pacific CPA 135 runway 25 left, altitude 4,925 feet.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 135, runway 25 left, altitude 4,925 feet.
United Airlines UAL A21 approach cleared for takeoff.
Approach control. United Airlines UAL821 on runway 25 right to 30 feet.
Landed read back Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569 to 25 right 0 feet on the runway.
Readback Tower, landed, Hong Kong Air Cargo HKC 4569 to 25 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 135 runway 25 left.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 135, 07 right.
United Airlines UAL 821. We are airborne at 825 feet over the Pacific.
This is United Airlines UAL821 on runway 25 right, 825 feet and 15.3 knots inbound from San Francisco to MMX.
Tower Starlux Airlines SJX332R, maintain altitude.
Starlux Airlines SJX332, R11 runway clear.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609 to 25 right.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609, readback 25 right.
Qantas QFA 7525, pilot, we are airborne from Sydney to Hong Kong.
Qantas QFA 7525, tower, you are approaching on runway 25 right.
United Airlines UAL 821 runway 25 right.
Readback United Airlines UAL 821.
Readback, CPA 150 run 7 center 0 feet speed 0 knots distance 2 nautical mile on ground from Brisbane to Hong Kong. QNH 996 wind south 10 knots.
CPA 150 readback runway 70 altitude 0 feet flight path course 134 heading west towards Hong Kong.
Qantas QFA 7525, Tower 1, we are airborne on the final heading from Sydney to Hong Kong.
Qantas, this is Tower 1 calling you clear for runway 25 right approach.
CPA 2074, taxi runway 25 center.
Readback CPA 2074, taxi runway 25 center.
Air Niugini, you are on runway 25 left from IB to Hong Kong.
Readback Air Niugini taxiing right, R, 07 feet, 1 nautical miles.
Qantas QFA 7525, approach request for runway 25 right.
Qantas QFA 7525, this is VHHH, Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. This is Pilot 1.
Hong Kong Express Airway 691 pilot request. I am VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. We are clear for takeoff on runway 25 right with altitude 1400 feet and speed 13.9 knots.
This is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. This is Hong Kong Express Airways 691 tower call. Runway 25 right, altitude 1400 feet, speed 13.9 knots, distance.
Qantas QFA 7525 runway 25 right 0 feet altitude 66 knots speed 3 nautical miles distance on ground from Sydney to Hong Kong 999.6 weather.
Readback Qantas QFA 7525 at 0 feet, 66 knots downwind. Hong Kong Express Airways HD 691, a pilot, line requests clearance to take off 25 right at 92.5 feet in flight.
VHHH, this is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. This is HD 691. You are cleared for takeoff 25 right to 92.5 feet in flight.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150 Rebeck. This is Cathay Pacific CPA 150 on runway 07 center.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150. We are on ground from Brisbane to Hong Kong at altitude 3,000 feet. Speed 30 knots, distance 2 nautical miles.
Cathay Pacific CPA 2074. Taxi on 07 center.
Rebeck Cathay Pacific CPA 2074. R. Runway 07 right.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 691 I say I read back your call sign and runway 25 right.
Tower, we are on ground from Nagoya to Hong Kong with a squawk of 691.
Shanghai Airlines CSH 810 runway 07 right.
Shanghai Airlines CSH 810, Cali 642, takeoff from Hong Kong to Shanghai.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, runway 07 center.
Roger, Cathay Pacific CPA 150.
Cathay Pacific CPA 150, runway 07 center, altitude 0 feet, speed 0 knots, distance 2 nautical miles on ground from Brisbane to Hong Kong, QNHNINE, Chinese letter, wind south at 10 knots.
Rebeck Cathay Pacific CPA 150, runway 07 center, alt 80 FTSBD KTZ dis TWN mile BGB NTOH and KQNH 996 wind south 10.
This is Air Niugini ANG 8, 07 center. I am on the ground from IB to Hong Kong.
QTH, Air Niugini ANG 8, altitude and distance is reported.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609, Roger, taxiing on runway 25 center from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 609, taxiing for the final approach, tower.
This is Air China CCA 728, runway 25 left on 07 right.
Air China CCA 728, taxiing to Hangzhou.
CPA 344 take Series 7 right.
CPA 344, taking off runway 07 right.
China Southern Airlines CSN 398, pilot line, request clearance to Guangzhou sector.
This is Hong Kong Tower 25 left, China Southern 39, altituding 1,575 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 344, M, tower, approach, clear for landing.
Cathay Pacific CPA 344, we are on 07 center runway.
This is CPA 603, taxiing on runway 25 left.
CPA 603, we are taxiing on runway 25 left.
United Airlines UAL 821, runway 07 left.
United Airlines UAL 821, taxiing to MMMX.
Shanghai Airlines CSH 810 Valve runway 11.
Shanghai Airlines CSH 810, runway 11. Power 2075 feet, 209 knots.
Good morning, 9MBZC. We are landing on 07 right.
Qatar Airways REBACK 07 Center and altitude 1,000 feet.
Qatar Airways QTR 8402, Tower. I am taxiing to the runway 07.
CPA 797, you are on the 25 Center runway 05 right taxiway 13 for takeoff.
Reback CPA 797, I'm ready to depart from Hong Kong.
RMY641 pilot, I'm requesting to land on runway 07 center.
Tower RMY641M, you are landing on 07 center.
Roger, CRK 609, taxiing runway 25 Center on the ground from Tokyo to Hong Kong.
CRK 609, M, 3 nautical miles out.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 776, requesting RMP 25L approach, runway 07 left.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 776, cleared RNP 25L approach, runway 07 left, QNH 99.
Roger, CRK 776 on 07 left. You are 500 feet above the surface.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 776, landed and en route to Hong Kong from Bangkok. QNH is 996 barometric pressure.
Qatar Airways QTR 8402, taxiing to runway 25 Center from Doha.
Read back Qatar Airways QTR 8402, taxiing to runway 25 Center.
APG 093, you're approaching from Macau to Manila with a heading of 07 right.
This is APG 093, this is Hong Kong Tower. You are on runway 11 at altitude 10,675 feet.
Pilot in command. We're flying CRK 619 from Osaka to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tower on 07 left approach.
Air People International APG 093, pilot, we are landing from Macau to Manila.
Tower, this is APG 093 on 11 runway. Please hold position.
I am APG 093 pilot line request runway 11, we are at sea level and climbing up, please hold position if you can't see us.
APG 093, M, this is Hong Kong Tower 1 on 1 altitude 13,425 feet in meters, speed 30.1 knot, distance 2 nautical miles, airborne from Macau to Manila, weather clear, south wind 10 knots.
Tower, this is Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619 on 07 left. We are cleared to land.
Pilot call sign Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619 runway 07 right altitude 0 feet speed 34 knots distance 3 nautical miles on ground from Osaka to Hong Kong QNH 99.6 wind south 10 knots.
Roger that, CPA 313.
This is CPA 313, approach cleared for 07 left.
Air China CCA 728, this is Tower, please listen to me. You are approaching the runway 07 right for takeoff.
Flight CCA 728, we have cleared runways 07 and 13.
My Mongolian Airlines MGL 298, I am flying 3,000 feet and 196 knots.
This is MGL 298M, you are on 07 center.
My Mongolian Airlines MGL 298, requesting landing clearance, runway 07 center.
My Mongolian Airlines MGL 298, wind south at 10, runway 07 center, cleared to land, arriving from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 549, Tower. I am airborne from VVDN to Hong Kong on QNH 996 with wind south 1 knots.
Roger, CRK 549, inbound 07 left, altitude 225 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 31307 left and on ground.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 31307 left.
Roger, CRK 54907 left to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 549, VVDN 36123, altitude 0 feet on ground.
Cathay Pacific CPA 603, you're clear for takeoff at 2,400 feet.
This is Cathay Pacific CPA 603 on runway 07 center. We are airborne from Hong Kong to Kathmandu.
China Eastern Airlines CAS 9798, pilot line request. I am approaching from Macau to Nanjing at 118,500 feet and 31.5 knots.
This is Hong Kong Tower. Call China Eastern CES 9798. You are on 07 left runway 118.87 feet.
China Eastern Airlines CES 9798. I am approaching on flight path to Nanjing, altitude 134,000 feet.
Clear CES 9798. Approach runway 07 right.
Pilot line. This pilot request to land for CES 9798 at 13.8 thousand feet, speed 32 knots, distance 3 nautical miles.
This is Hong Kong Tower, China Eastern Airlines CES 9798. We are landing on 07 left. Cathay Pacific CPA 603, wind south at 10, runway 07 right, cleared for takeoff heading to Kathmandu.
Cathay Pacific CPA 603, cleared for takeoff, runway 07 right, heading to Kathmandu.
Cathay Pacific CPA 945, request approach, inbound, QNH 996.
Cathay Pacific CPA 945, Roger. Cleared RNT 25, our approach runway 07 left, QNH 996.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 134 VHHH. This is the VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. Takeoff to runway 07 right, at 2,900 feet and 238 knots.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 134, takeoff on runway 07 right at altitude 2,900 feet, speed 238 knots.
Cathay Pacific CPA 94507 left on the runway.
Readback Cathay Pacific CPA 94507 left.
Cathay Pacific CPA 464, Tower, we are airborne from Hong Kong to Taipei at altitude 2,350 feet.
This is Cathay Pacific 464 on 06
Request
center.
clearance to proceed to runway 07 right.
This is VHHH CPA 464 on 07 center.
Roger, Cathay Pacific CPA 46407 right, altitude 3,500 feet.
Cathay Pacific CPA 464 readback takeoff, runway 07 right 3650 feet.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 899, pilot line request. We are airborne from Osaka to Hong Kong at 225 feet and 126 knots.
This is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. I see you are on 07 left with a call of HKE 899.
VHHH Express 899, you are on 07 left and your altitude is 3,000 feet.
Express 899, we have landed on 7 left.
Sichuan Airlines CSE 3960, takeoff 07 right.
CSC 3960, 07 right. VHHH Hong Kong, this Sichuan Airlines CSC 3960, altitude 1,097 feet.
CSC 3960, approach to Zupfon runway 07 center.
Tower, I am holding on the approach to Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 639.
Hong Kong Express Airways HKE 639, pilot, you are clear for runway 07 left with a heading of 265 and an altitude of 3 feet.
Shane-san, I am landing for Sichuan Airlines CSC 3960.
Sichuan Airlines, we have clearance to land on runway 07 center. This is VHHH Hong Kong Air Traffic Controller Line. This is VHHH HK639. You have landed on 07 left.
VHHH HK639, I am airborne on pit 7 right at 10 feet and 25 knots.
Cathay Pacific CPA 79707 right, you are on 2,500 feet with a speed of 21 knots and distance of 1 nautical mile above the surface.
CPA 79707 right. You are at altitude 2,500 feet, flying at a ground speed of 21 knots for a distance of 1 nautical mile from Hong Kong to Jakarta.
Roger, CRK 619R, taxiing 25 center from 07 right.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619, 25 center. We're on ground.
Ever 857, this is Ever Air.
The HHH Ever 85707 left.
Cargolux CLX 245, Tower, I'm on final approach to 07 right.
Cargo DLX 24507 right runway clear for landing. Eva Air Eva 857. Read back Eva 857.
Eva Air Eva 857, R, Tower, we are on ground runway 07 left.
Cathay Pacific CPA 111, we have taxi 25 left.
Read back Cathay Pacific CPA 111, runway 25 left.
Six Ed, pilot, I am airborne on 25 left.
Tower 6 EBK 07 right. Emirates UAE 985907 right.
Read that Emirates UAE 985907 right.
Cathay Pacific CPA 111, you are on the 25 left runway.
25 left, Cathay Pacific CPA 111.
Cathay Pacific CPA 111R, runway 25 left.
Read back Cathay Pacific CPA 111.
This is VHHH for CPA 797, this runway 07 left.
Cathay Pacific CPA 797, VHHH, am ready to take off on 07 left.
Hong Kong Air Cargo, this is CRK 619 on 07 center taxi from runway 25 right.
CRK 619, read back to Hong Kong Air Cargo, R, aircraft position over 07 left.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619, taxi to 07 center, read back taxi.
Hong Kong Air Cargo CRK 619, clear.